What's up, people? I want to show y'all something. I was in here in the feed lot and it grew up. I was having my goats outside in the big pasture way back out there. When I came through here, it's got good Bermuda grass because of the hay that we use. Good Bermuda grass for the horses or whatnot. And if you, I don't know if y'all can see that, but this Bermuda grass it's Bermuda, but out here in the country we call it Muda grass. All right. So the Muda grass is tall. The Muda grass is probably, there it is right there. See that? Muda grass. Boogie, what are you doing? Whatever. All right, so the Muda grass is probably almost waist high. All right. So you can either come in there and cut it down with a weed eater, pile it up and burn it. And you do that if you're an idiot. Because what this is high dollar hay. This is high dollar hay. Good Muda grass. I don't know if y'all can see that. Excuse me. It's up to my knees. So what you do, can't get your tractor in there or whatever else. This is a concrete hole. Notice the thing weighs about, shoot man, the head of it, if it was a wooden handle, it'd probably weigh about 10, 12, 15 pounds maybe, something like that. And it's big, so you can move concrete. Well, what you do, I don't know if you can see the edge on it. You make a chisel point on it, really sharp. And that's the key to working with any tool in the dirt, is make sure that it's sharp. And then you start chopping it, you roll the hay. You get you a spot cleared out along the fence. You start chopping the hay and you roll it. It makes a roll. The best time of the year is like right now, 1st of August, everything's dry. So you don't have to, you're not cutting wet hay and it's gonna wind up and spoil on you or mildew or something like that. So what you do is you chop this hay. I'm gonna try to do this. It's gonna be really hard with just one hand. But as you come down, look out, Boog. As you come down, you want to strike it and then pull it along the ground. Strike right at the top of the ground. You might hit it one time, but you're just pulling it right along the ground. And when you hit and pull, you'll roll that hay up. And if you see underneath here, when you hit and pull up, it pulls the top of the grass down. So your next strike, and you pick it up, goes in, you come back out. In, come back out. In, come back out. It lays the grass over. It pulls it with it. So you're not tangling up. Now people say, yeah man, well you should get a tractor. That's true, I do have a tractor. But in here, things go to crap in the world. You ain't gonna have no gas, dude. What I'm trying to teach you is something that's manpower, old ways. You hear it? You're cutting about 6.5, 7-inch swath on that grass every time, and you're making a roll. So this roll goes all the way down, and just inside here was about 4 bales. But when it gets down to the time and everything's gone to crap, what are you gonna have? You're gonna have muscle power and hand tools. You need to learn how to use them hand tools. Now a scythe would be great, a sickle, that'd be great, but there's just not enough room inside here. And This right here, 4 bales Bermuda grass hay, they're anywhere between $12 to $18 a bale. So I just saved money right here, and I will feed my goats and my chickens with that hay. Now here's some that I cut yesterday. Look, it didn't take but just 24 hours, and that is ready to eat. Every barnyard animal eats hay and grass. Chickens eat hay and grass. They eat the bugs inside of it. The chickens eat the grass. You eat the eggs. And when the chicken don't lay, you invite your neighbors over for fried chicken. All right. So get your hand tools and get some muscles on you, and get out there and do something. All right, folks. Remember yesterday we got that chopped up with that concrete hoe? We got it rolled up. Well, it was a little too wet in certain spots, so I had to put it back out and let it dry all day today in the sun. So now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you how to fluff it up, and then we're gonna roll it and stack it, put it in the barn. I'll be right back. Let me get my hay for it. I hear you, girl. All right, this here's it right there. That is the real pitchfork. You ever wonder why it's called a pitchfork? Pitching it. And it's got a long handle on it. That's so you can get it in the top of the wagon. Now this is a old antique, but it's good. It still works. You notice how it's shaped like that? There's a reason for that. That's so when you lay it on the ground, it's just right above the dirt and it won't stick in. You run it through there and pitch and pitch. So when you get your hay done with your concrete hoe, all right, you get it all broke loose on the ground. You don't want to have a lot of dirt in it. That's why you don't chop and rub the dirt. You want the roots to stay there, because next year it'll be the same thing. And when you're drying it out, you want to fluff it. If y'all can see that dirt and stuff coming out of there, that's good, because you don't want your animal. You don't want it to wear your animal's teeth out. That makes what they call short and solid. When you go to a cow cell or a cow barn, you're picking them out. They'll have the weight on there and date and stuff, and you'll see S.S. on the back of that cow. That means it's short and solid. That means it's about the only thing it's going to be good for. It ain't going to have much time left as far as eating to get fat. You're going to have to feed lot it, get it fat, and then take it to the locker plant. All right, so we're going to get this thing mounted up, get as much dirt out of it as we can, as much trash. Ooh, I missed the spot. I just want y'all to see how much hay this is off a very small lot. Very small lot. And see, it's starting to get heavy now. We're just looking to make sure that there ain't no wet spots in it. If you put that hay up, and it's got a wet spot in it, that's something gonna mildew right there, and it'll kill your animal. You gotta be real careful feeding horses. Old goat pick around that nasty stuff, that old mildew. Horse hay is a little bit worth more because it's a little cleaner. It's dried right. Wasn't no chances of rain, or they didn't let it get wet in the field. A buddy of mine, that's what he does. Usually where I get all my hay from, but this right here, you're gonna end up probably maybe 3 or 4 good bales. Maybe 75-pound bales. You're gonna make about in each hay bale, when it's done with a baler on a tractor, that thing that cuts it, so it can pack it in. If you ever fed horses, you notice that there are little pats in it, like a pat of butter. There'll be a little section. There's usually about 15, 20, maybe 25 of them in there. Each pat will feed that animal for one day, unless you're trying to get it fat. But as far as deep winter time, when there's no more browse for your goats, there's no more browse for your sheep, you know, when it gets toward that end of winter and right before spring gets here, there's this time of year where them goats and them sheep and stuff will start looking. And you notice they done eat everything. Well, when you're browsing them, you got them in a field or something. If you don't have the ability to graze free land or whatever, have your shepherd or kid or whoever's doing it, taking care of the livestock, who's moving them from pasture to pasture, you're gonna have that time where you got to supplement their feed, and you want them usually right before springtime or whatever, and before they breed. And when they breed, you want them to have a pretty good, healthy body, especially the nanny goats and your ewes. You want them to have a good, healthy body, so that when she's, you know, conceiving that kid or that lamb, that she's got good things in her. Good things in her. The healthier the ewe or the nanny is, the healthier your kid and lamb's gonna be. So you want that. You want to be able to produce milk, good milk. You want to make sure your supplements, she's not eating a whole lot of browse, but she's eating good stuff. And this is Bermuda grass. Usually right before they start the kid and their little lungs is developing inside of them. You want to make sure that they've got the right minerals and stuff. So you want something good quality, like, you know, Bermuda grass. But hay is okay. It's got a lot of straw in it though, and it makes your teeth short and solid. This Bermuda grass, let me see if I can promote it. It's got some straws in it too. But if you notice, if you can see that right there, I don't know if color's coming out or not. Sun's shining in there, but there's green in it, but it's dry. Okay, see? You do that right there and it breaks. It's dry. See? But it's green. It's still got some chlorophyll. That means it's got a lot of good nutrients and stuff in it. So when you're thinking about, just like a human being, you're thinking about your kids and your ewes, your lambs. So just like in a human kid, you don't want the woman smoking cigarettes and getting drunk and staying out all night and eating cheeseburgers and stuff. It's not good for the baby. So the same goes for your farm animals. You want to feed them good quality food whenever that's taking place during gestation period. So I'm going to put these two videos together and show you that just in this small lot right here, with 2 or 3 days, it started out cleaning and stuff. So I had probably had about 6 hours in it. And those bales, the good Bermuda grass like that, it's almost $25 for a good big bale of Bermuda grass. So that's $75 for 6 hours. 6 hours worth of work for $75, and it's pretty much free, but it's saving me $75 on something else. And that's what the name of the game is. Also, this teaches you that if it comes down to it, and you don't have gasoline, you got a tractor or whatever it is, you don't have gasoline, you can build these right here out of sticks and rattan. You can wrap them, make it out of sticks, find you a good 3/4, bow them like that, put them in water, bend it, you'll get this curve to it right there. They did it for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. And still in some places, they still use wooden pitchforks. The concrete hoe is something you need to get. The real important thing with farm work and survival and just homesteading in general is you got to be able to look at something that is not bought from the store and think in your mind, how can I utilize this? How can I utilize this strangely shaped limb that has 3 forks on it and is slightly bowed in an S? How can I use that? Well, this thing right here at the store, you can't even buy these no more. This is like old school. This is back in the 1800s. And I still use it today. That just attests to their craftsmanship. Utilize that thing. Use your brain and think, how can I use this? Because the name of the game is improvise. Adapt, overcome, improvise. Everybody's heard that saying, but it's really true. It is. It's really true. Looking at a vine, well, it's just a vine. I can make a wreath out of it and sell it for something. That's true. But you can also make a fish trap out of it, and every day it will produce food for you. Every day. So you got to be able to think outside the box. One of my teachers one time, long time ago, she said, Dean, you don't think like everybody else. You think outside the box. And I was like, what is she talking about? So she explained to me outside the box. And she said, what do you think about that? And I said, well, I try to never get in the box in the first place. And then I won a science fair. Another thing with this hay right here, to tell your moisture content is not high, you can take a horsetail hair and put in that hay, or on that hay, or wherever you're drying, or whatever. You can tell the moisture content of it. If there's no moisture or low moisture, when you pull that horsehair out, it'll be straight. You can measure it also. It's called a horsehair hygrometer. When the humidity is high, that horsehair will draw up. You understand that? You ever seen a woman that's having a, quote, bad hair day? That's what's happening. The humidity in the air is making the hair curl up and actually get shorter. Low humidity, no humidity, the hair is actually longer. It's stretching. So the same thing can be used with your hay if you're, or anything, you're checking humidity. You can also do it on your porch, but you can put it in your hay barn and build a horsehair hygrometer. You can look it up on YouTube or whatever. And you build that, you stick it in there. That way you don't have any kind of instrumentation to tell what the humidity is or whatever. You can tell. My granddaddy used to be able to tell when it was going to rain when he was plowing, because the horsetail would start drawing up. And he was the one that told me about that. But the science teacher, I won a science fair on a horsehair hygrometer and some other stuff. So that's what it looks like, folks. This little old bitty area right here. I'm gonna walk y'all around and show you. This little old bitty area right here produced that much hay. So till next time, I almost dropped y'all. Till next time, I'll see you later. Y'all think about stuff, adapt, improvise. Look at different items, different things, and think, how can I use this? How can I utilize this for something else? The Native American ancestry, they didn't waste anything. Nothing was wasted. Nothing. They used everything on the animal. Skin, the meat, the bones, the marrow, the teeth, the gut. Used it for water, carrying water. Tanned it out, everything. Utilize everything. That'll be less waste in the world. So, till next time, I'll see you later. All right, I think you can see it now. I had you flipped around one time, you fell off the chicken pen, you're in the chicken window right now. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna show you how to put this up in the barn. Now I'm gonna use this first because I've got other hay there. This is just demonstration purposes, okay? Make sure y'all can still see me. All right now. All right. You gonna take some? Get right over here. There you go. All right. You're gonna take some out of that pile. You're gonna flop it down there and then pat it. Get you some good loose. And while you're doing this, you can take all the trash out of it, or whatever. So you're gonna fluff it up. Lay it right there. Pat it down because you want to conserve as much space as you can, unless you got a big old huge barn. All right. Then you take, stab at the ground, pick it up. Y'all see that? That's a whole lot more confined than it was in the big pile. And we're gonna take it and put it right in here in this stall right here. Alright, so we'll pick it up, drop it, pat it. Pick it up, drop it, and pat it. And every time you're moving that hay, you are getting dirt out of it. Okay? That's the thing. It's really good. I know if you read your Bible, you've heard of thrashing. The threshing floor. That's where they remove the chaff from the wheat. And same thing, same principle that you're doing here with the hay. You're getting the dirt out of it, shake it, and put it over here. That's if you notice, there's like 3 or 4 different piles this thing has moved in different areas. Every time we move some of it, we're taking dirt out of it, trash out of it, and cleaning it at the same time. There's a bunch of spots over yonder that I've been throwing the trash. So we put in here, pack it, pick it, fluff it, pack it, pick it, fluff it, pack it. Pick it, fluff it, pack it. You want to kind of have the same thing. Just like when you buy a bale of hay and they got them pats in it, you're doing the same kind of thing right here. This is the same thing, except somebody figured out how to make the machine and do it for you and make it a whole lot easier to get rid of manpower and do it with a tractor. But the thing about it is when tractors is gone, what you got? You just got people. What if you don't have the knowledge? Well, now you do. Now you can show somebody else and teach them how to do it. Maybe you already knew this, maybe you didn't. If you knew it, great. If you didn't, you're welcome. There we go. Yep. Pat, pat, pat. Find the middle. Go all the way to dirt. Pick it up. And brother, I'm gonna tell you, that's a significant amount of hay. I don't know if y'all can see that in there, but that's a pretty good pile. I'll show you in a minute. And each one of them pats right there is probably, I'd say probably half a bale. Something like that. I know when I was little, or youngin', high school stuff, we'd go haul hay in the summertime before football practice on 2 days. And you could always tell them city boys that's been in the air conditioning all summer. Them suckers was dying. When we got through with football, we went either to the pea field or the hay field. Still had to make that truck payment, that car payment in high school, so you could take the girl out to the show or something like that. Yeah, when you pack it down, you're good to go. The only thing you got to worry about is that right there is straight up kindling. Fire gets in that, whoosh, it's gone. That's why there's no smoking in the barn. I watched my cousin get his pine end towed up. I got there just about the time Granddaddy was lighting into him with a belt. He's an idiot. He knew better than that. He didn't care though, see, that's the problem. He didn't care about rules or other people's stuff. And it ended up and got him too. Ended up and got him. And he had better raising than that. He had way better raising than that. He's gonna fluff. Look out, crackhead, you're gonna get in the way and get poked by them. Yes, if y'all ain't learned or heard me by now, that dog's name is Crackhead. I named her Cricket or something like that. But the thing was so hyperactive, it just ran around. All the time, just run around, just buzzing. And somebody said, man, that thing runs around like a crackhead. And it stuck. So bless her heart. Her name is Crackhead. I'm glad she ain't got to fill out a job application. She got a job here. That's a mouse catching some gun right there, boy. Squirrel catcher and mouse catcher. You will catch a mouse. Ain't that right, girl? Yep. Good old Crackhead. That is a good girl. There's another way. I was going to show y'all that first time is the roll method. It's the same thing like you do with when you roll pine straw. You're making some kind of erosion control thing on your property. You got pine trees. You start with a rake or a hoe and you get under that pine straw and you just start making a roll, just like a cigar or a cigarette or something like that. And then you start rolling it and it will get tight. Water will run around it. You can divert water with it. It's the same principle here with the hay on the rolling method. Is you make a roll of it and just keep it going, Then you fold it back in on yourself. I've seen people that made rolls. And then would double them back on themselves. It just looked like a big old snake in there. And they had it fixed up where it, y'all excuse me for that, but I ain't got no mask on and this dust is rough. But then people put them rolls in there and they had a little system set up and it's pretty cool. Had that little system set up where they just fed that roll into the feed lot, and they just push that roll up in there. And one thing you got to worry about this right here is the edge is getting wet. You'll lose a little bit on the bottom or whatnot, but that'll work for inside the chicken pen. You don't waste anything. You don't ever waste anything. But what you do is you get all your hay up in there, and then you put a tarp over this side right here. Start right there, go down the side with a tarp, go to the bottom, roll it under, where the water won't get to it. All right, folks, that's the whole thing right there. So, like I said, keep your mind going. Look at something and go, how can I use that? Just do it out of like a little exercise when you're sitting around and you ain't got nothing to do, or you're waiting on somebody or something. Just look around and at different items and think, what can I use that for? Does it have another purpose besides its intended purpose? Everything's got an extra purpose. Everything. All right. So there you go. I'll put all these together. My glass is fogged up. I'll put all these together and I'll put it on the S.T.O.S channel. All right. So till next time. See y'all later.